Welcome one and all. In this video, we will study about the concept of society. We will understand it through sociological views and characteristics of the society. Students, Wallerstein in his World System Analysis 1974 writes, "No concept is more pervasive in modern social science than society, and no concept is used more automatically and unreflectively than society, despite the countless pages devoted to its definition." In popular speech, the word society has several meanings. Scores of definitions of the word society exist, and the word has a change of meaning extending far beyond sociology, including history, economics, and political science. In everyday life, this term is used for various kinds of social units or social aggregates, as if it exists out there and beyond the individual subject, such as Indian society, French society, American society, capitalist society, etc. At many times, we associate this term for secondary associations, just like Indian Sociological Society, the Theosophical Society, Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals or to Children. Likewise, in everyday speech, there is probably little distinctions being made between society and nations. Whereas in sociology, such a distinction would be significant. Not only this, the word society is interchangeably used for the community also. Such a usage has its problem. Because of these problems, Wallerstein argued that the concept of society should be dropped from social analysis. Some symbolic interactionist says that there is no such thing as society. It is a useful covering term for things we do not know about or understand properly. Other, such as Emile Durkheim, treat society as a reality in its own right. As against its common sense uses, sociologist uses this term in a specific sense and in a precise way. In social sciences, since 19th century, there is a long debate about the use of the concept society. It was taken to mean as tissues of manners and customs that hold a group of people together. In some sense, society represented something more enduring and deeper than the state, less manipulative and certainly more elusive. Now, sociologists have defined society with two angles. First, in abstract term, as a network of relationships between people or between groups. And second, in concrete term, as a collection of people or an organization of persons. An earlier social scientist, L.T. Hobhouse, 1908, defined society as tissues of relationship. R.M. McIver, 1937, also defined it in more or less the same term as web of social relations, which is always changing, refining the definition. Just like McIver, along with his co-writer Charles Page, later on defined it in his new book Society, an introductory analysis 1949. Thus, society is a system of uses and procedures, of authority and mutual aid, of many groupings and divisions, of control of human behavior and of liberties. This ever-changing complex system we call society. For McIver and Page, society is an abstract entity as they write. We may see the people but can't see society or social structure, but only its external aspect. Society is distinct from physical reality. Same that Talcott Parsons, writing Encyclopedia of the Social Sciences 1934, wrote, "Society may be regarded as the most general term referring to the whole complex of relationship of man to his fellows." Students, what is the characteristics of society? Now, let's study. First characteristics of society is abstract. If society is viewed as web of relationship, it is distinct from physical entity, which we can see and pervade through sense. As written earlier, McIver argued, we may see the people but can't see society or social structure, but only its only external aspect. Social relationships are invisible and abstract. We can't just realize them but cannot see or touch them. Therefore, society is abstract. Deuter wrote, just as life is not a thing but a process of living, so society is not a thing but a process of associating. Same that likeness and differences in society. Society involves both likeness and differences. If people are all exactly alike, merely alike, their relationship would be limited. There would be little give and take and little reciprocity. If all men thought alike, felt alike, and acted alike, if they had the same standard and same interests, if they all accepted the same customs and echoed the same opinions without questioning and without variations, civilization could never have advanced and culture would be remained rudimentary. Thus, society needs differences also for its existence and continuance. We can illustrate this point through the most familiar example of family. The family rests upon the biological differences between the sexes. There are natural differences of aptitude, of capacity, of interest, for they all involve relationship in which differences complement one another, in which exchange take place. Likeness and differences are logical opposites, but the understanding likeness comprehensive of its relation to the other is necessary. Society exists among those who have some degree of likeness in mind and in body. F. H. Giddings called this quality of society as consciousness of kind, a sense of likeness. Though likeness and differences both are necessary for the society to exist, but differences is always subordinated to likeness in society. Likeness has a predominant share in the constitution of society. Cooperation and conflict are universal element in society. Society is based on cooperation, but because of internal differences, there is conflict among its members. This is why, because McIver and Pace said that society is cooperation crossed by conflict. We know from our own experience that a person would be handicapped, shown down, and feels frustrated if he is expected to do everything alone without the aid of others. Cooperation is most elementary process of social life without which such society is impossible. Though cooperation is essential for the constitution of society, but modern conflict theories such as Marx have highlighted the role of conflict in society. If there is no conflict, even in small measure, society may become stringent and people may become inward and unactive. However, the expressions of disagreement in the form of conflict must always be held within tolerable boundaries. Next, the characteristic of society is that society is a process and not a product. Society exists only as a time sequence. It is becoming not a being, a process and not a product. Mikhail Paz said 1956, in other words, as soon as the process ceases, the product disappears. The product of a machine endures after the machine has been scrapped. To some extent, the same is true not only of materials, relies of man past culture, but even of his immaterial culture achievements. Society as a system of stratification. Society provides a system of stratification of status and classes, that each individual has a relatively stable and recognizable position in the social structure. Permanent nature. Permanency is another important characteristic of society. It is not a temporary organization of individuals. Society continues to exist even after the death of individual member. Society is a coherent organization. Just like that, society is dynamic. The very nature of society is dynamic and changeable. No society is static. Every society changes continuously. Old customs, traditions, folkways, morals, values and institutions go change and new customs and values take place. Society change from its traditional nature to modern nature. Hence, it is one of the most important characteristics of the society. Comprehensive culture is the other characteristic of society. Culture is each and every society has its own culture which distinguishes it from others. Culture is the way of life of the member of a society and includes their values, beliefs, arts, morals, etc. Hence, culture is comprehensive because it fulfills the necessity of social life and is culturally self-sufficient. Besides, each and every society transmits its culture pattern to the succeeding generations. Sometimes more than mere collection of individuals is society. No doubts, society consists of individuals, but mere collection of individuals is not society. It is something more than that and something beyond the individual. Durkheim is right when he remarked that society is more than the sum of its parts and like that individuals. Accommodation and assimilation is two associative social process is also important for the smooth functioning and continuity of society. Hence, it is also another characteristic of society. So, lastly, we said that the society is a web of relationship, not a product, not a only conflict, not only association. It's a web of relationship. So, hope you understand all that. Thank you very much.